So a while back, Donald Trump had blocked some people on his personal Twitter account, and people are up in arms. They're angry. They're emotionally distraught because they feel that their First Amendment rights have been trampled on. And so they're attempting to take this to court, saying that Donald Trump's Twitter account constitutes as a designated public forum. And this is a Reuters article. Now, these people are saying that they were blocked because they disagreed with or criticized or mocked the president. One might even say that they harassed the president. And that's not a word I throw around lightly, but they would leave chain letters after chain letters on every single tweet he sends out. It's just a cesspool of moronic bullshit. You can go there right now, guaranteed, and see the same sort of thing for yourself. It's ironic, too. Well, not even ironic. There's obviously some sort of nefarious intent going on behind the scenes at Twitter. But you can see pro-Trump tweets with more likes further down. You have to scroll through them, though. But people with like 100 likes, or sometimes they get up to 1,000, they're pushed all the way to the top as long as they completely talk shit to the president. And there's a lot of them. And with how unconstructive they can be, with just sheep-like in their vitriolic hatred of the man, I don't blame him at all for blocking these people. They aren't adding anything to the discussion besides, I hate you, Donald Trump, which I can turn on my TV to any mainstream network and that's what they're going to be saying. So it's not like this sentiment needs legal protection. The very idea of people who no doubt claim to be liberal, I don't think it's a stretch in the imagination to say that, if they hate Donald Trump this much, that they are willing to make the argument that Twitter forcibly unblocked people without the user's consent. I find that just crazy. First of all, it's the man's personal Twitter account, not the president's personal Twitter account. That's an important distinction. Second, I wouldn't even believe this was some sort of protected speech, being able to speak on Twitter, since, Milo Yiannopoulos isn't around anymore because he dared say that Leslie Jones looks like an ape, which she does. She doesn't look like an ape because she's black. She looks like an ape because she looks like a fucking ape. It's just some people resemble certain things. It isn't a race thing. She just actually looks like she's missing a chromosome. So the same people who are demanding safe spaces from Twitter, that they remove controversial opinions for their little hug box, are the same ones that are demanding that somebody else on the same platform not have the same luxury, just because that they're a president and therefore their Twitter account should be open to everybody. Well, guess what, sweetheart? You can open up a brand new Twitter account if you want. If you really want to harass the man that bad, surely you could just do that. One could even argue that because Twitter is a private company, they have a right to allow whatever speech they want on their platform, which has been the argument many, many times with regards to bias and throttling and other things that prevent typically conservative perspectives to be heard under the guise that they are speaking hate speech or they're trolling or whatever it is, whatever bullshit reason they give you that the person's voice should be squashed. Usually the argument is, well, they're a private company, they can do whatever they want. Oh, Facebook can completely censor all conservative news outlets and completely parade falsehoods as if they're truth because they're a private company. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are such huge companies that hold a near monopoly on social media that they would be heavily regulated if they were any other industry, if this wasn't such a new industry. Say this was steel or coal, something like that. The government would be stepping in to make sure that certain guidelines were kept up with. However, with YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, the whole argument of them being a private company continues to get pushed to the forefront every single time. I just can't help but think about all the steps that had to be taken place. A person got blocked on Twitter. They thought, I need to consult a lawyer. And then that lawyer said, we need to take this to court. All of that just blows my mind. All of this so that some whiny asshole can send a person who happens to be president consistent messages on their personal Twitter account, claiming that it constitutes as free speech. It's insanity. I know this gets asked a lot, but it's simply because this highlights their hypocrisy very clearly. If this was Barack Obama, you know as well as I do that CNN, MSNBC, all of these news outlets that worshipped him like he was the king, like he was royalty, which I always found suspicious, they would have ran this story into the ground talking about the moronic anti-Obama person that demanded that he allow them to spam his Twitter account. This person would face ritualistic humiliation by the mainstream media for disliking or even criticizing Obama. They made it clear very early on that if you opposed Obama, you were some sort of racist. But that's all I got for this one, so let me know what you think in the comments section, and I'll be back later with another article I think is pretty interesting. I'll see you later.